Hi, welcome to AXYZ Design. We are the developers of Anima, the fastest standalone crowd simulation software in the ARCVIZ industry, and Metropoly, our line of ready-post and rigged 3D characters that add life to your renders. This is the third installment of our Metropoly Tutorial Series, in which we are demonstrating all the benefits of using AXYZ characters in your visualizations, giving you some ideas of how you can use them in creative ways. In this episode, we will continue with explaining the fundamental principles, so welcome everybody to chapter number 3, Reflections and Materials. We are back in Lisa's place, and today we will put a few materials in it. We want to show you a great time saver feature that comes by using our characters. As mentioned in the intro, we will be talking about reflections today. First, we added a perfect mirror material to Lisa's floor, and as you can see, all the 3D models in the scene are now nicely reflected in it. If we want to add a character in the scene in the conventional way in post-production, we would need a photo of Lisa. And in order to get the reflection on the ground, we would usually just copy and flip the photo, then paste it at the bottom of the original one. As you can see, we are limited a bit by the angle with which the photo was taken, and to achieve a nice result, we would either need another photograph or adjust the 3D scene. Well, if we use a 3D model of Lisa, like in this image, we don't have any issues like that. The reflection of the character is as perfect as the one of the sofa. In this render, we use the brushed metal material, and you can see the reflection of the character fade away accurately. If we had to do this in post-production, it would mean an extra step. But we think this is where you would save the most time. In this example, we have a floor material with different levels of bumpiness applied to it, and also every piece of the wooden planks has a slightly different reflectivity on it. Without any hassle, and regardless of the material, you can get perfect reflections of the character on the ground. So, we talked about one character so far, and look what happens if we put a few more to the scene. We get perfect reflections regardless of the character rotation, context, lighting, or floor material. She is reflected on the ground accurately, even if we put her outside, as she has physical interactions in the scene like the car or the tree. If you take a look at this image, you can see that she has a perfect reflection on the triple glazing glass we are using in our scene. It's a small bonus, but very welcome if you strive to having as much detail in your render as possible. So, it doesn't matter if you use wood, ceramic tiles, industrial resin, or water. You will always get perfect reflections regardless of the type or complexity of the materials that you use. As you notice in the last few images, the reflections will come straight out of the render engine and look great regardless of the angle you look at your scene. Okay, so far we talked only about floor reflections, but what happens if we put a mirror behind Lisa? Well, we would see her back reflected in it. If we wanted to do something like this in post-production, we would need another photo to achieve this. But that's no problem if we use 3D characters. In fact, we can use as many mirrors as we want, and place them anywhere we like. Lisa will reflect in them accurately. If you ever wanted to do a scary house of mirrors like in the movies, now you can. In this image, we made the mirror surface a bit bumpy, and Lisa's reflection is deformed according to their shape. Whoa, what's this? Did we run out of electricity again? Seems so. Well, now we are a bit closer to our horror house of mirrors scenario. We better go down the cellar where the main power switch is located. So, I guess we already established that Lisa's house is a bit strange. In order to get to the main light switch, you need to get through a gallery, material gallery, okay. As we step through the door, we start to walk down a hallway of mirrors, which is absolutely fine because we can see another example of how to benefit with 3D characters in terms of reflections, like in this infinite mirror scenario. Okay, so now we are in the material gallery, and this seems to be the first exhibit. This is an example of how our characters are made, actually. All the characters you can get from our website consist of 3 elements: the geometry you can see on the left, the diffuse map in the first picture frame, and the normal map in the second. The result is the Lisa on the right. This is how the basic mesh looks like. And this is how it looks if we apply a shiny material to it, as you can see on the left. If we add the normal map to the mix, we get the result on the right. The normal map is used to add more definition or bumpiness to the geometry through rendering. Okay, so when could you use the 3D character with different materials applied? Well, for example, you can use them in your scene when you only want to show the human scale in regard to your architectural project. In this case, Lisa is in shiny white material and not the point of the composition. Like the Modulor by Le Corbusier she has hanging on the wall, she is used only to show the human proportion in regards to the project. In this example, we used metal materials on the Lisa geometry. We used the first one in this maquette rendering. Again, the 3D models are totally abstract here, but serve the purpose of showing the human scale in the architectural project. In this example, we have an even bigger model. It could also be a metaphor for a large-scale rendering project where you have to place loads of people in the image but don't have time to hassle with manually placing all of them in post-production. If you have to make an abstract presentation of your project, this could be a nice way to populate them. And of course, beside perfect placement in your model, you get accurate lighting regardless of the type or the number of light sources in your scene. By using these different types of materials, you can create a different usage of the characters than what they are originally meant for. You can use them in your projects as decoration, or as a contemporary art installation in your museum rendering. You can get pretty wild with using different material types. In this grass example, you can see, whoa, sorry, what's this? Let me just answer it real quick. Yeah, hello. We went too far? Okay, yeah. Cool, I see. We went too far. But you can see our point. So, by using different types of materials, you can create a different usage of the characters that can serve your artistic needs. It's totally up to you. We just wanted to give you some examples of how they can be used. Okay, so, as we walk past the Carpaint Lisa, the Sapphire Stone Lisa, and Honey Lisa that shows SSS materials on our characters, we come to the main power switch. We can finally restore the light in the living room and go back upstairs. We would like to conclude our fundamentals part of the tutorials with this materialized image of Lisa's apartment. We hope we gave you some ideas on how you can benefit by using our characters. If you use people in your rendering, getting these bonuses can be quite a big time saver. You get accurate composition regardless of angles, accurate light interactions, and accurate reflections in the environment, and that can save you a ton of time. You can also use them in some non-standard ways, like we showed you in the last part, so let your creativity loose. We are really interested in how you use our characters, so please don't hesitate on sending in your feedback through our website, AXYZdesign.com. Looking forward to see what you created. You are welcome to join us again next time when we will try to provide you with some new useful tips for using the AXYZ Design 3D characters in your scene. Thank you for your attention and goodbye until next time.